Hey YouTube, Novstar here again, and I know I've not done any videos in a while. I was pretty busy, but I'm going to try and start doing them weekly now. One week it'll probably be Vanguard, the next week it'll probably be Weiss. Today's going to be a bit of both though, so quick, I went to the recent Springfest, Bushy Springfest regional qualifiers for Weiss and Team League for Vanguard. My team come 33rd, which considering my team was thrown together at last minute, weren't too bad. And for Weiss, I did terrible. I decided to change my deck at the last minute, and then I edited the deck at the last minute, and I come 40th, but the first two games were so bad. I ended up with, in turn 2 in both games, I had 6 climaxes in my stock. That's how bad it was, and then they just rushed me to level 3 and killed me. So, but Nationals is where it counts anyway. So today, this video is going to be a deck profile on my deck that I took to Team Leagues. I have made a few changes since Team Leagues because I wanted to try something out, and it's just really fun, and it's been working out pretty well. So I took Gear Chronicles to Team League, so this is a deck profile on my Gear Chronicle deck. It's an update of my Gear Chronicle deck. So my starter is still Gun Gear Draco Kid. Now then, this is a pretty staple starter for Gears. In my opinion, it's the best starter they have. At Generation Break 1, you can counterblast 1, move him to the soul, search your deck for any grade 3 and add it to your hand. So he can search for stride fodder and stuff like that. So that's my start. For triggers, now then, for triggers, I'm playing this. I was playing 4 draw, 8 crit, and 4 heal. Now then, in this build at the minute that I'm trying, I'm playing this 4 of this critical trigger, Steam Battler, Dad, whatever his name is. I'm also playing 4 of this critical trigger, Steam Battler Masashi, whatever his freaking name is, and then I'm also playing 4 of this critical trigger, the Heart Thump Worker. Yeah, so I'm playing 12 crits in this build. It just makes it easier for a finisher. Like, you can go into Ragnar Clock, and then if they've got a perfect guard, and you can just twin drive criticals for days, and then put them onto other cards. It makes certain cards a lot more threatening when you get criticals. So crits, and then obviously I'm playing 4 heals. So 4 heals, 12 crit. It seems to be working out pretty well for me. Might try a stand build, but taking the draw triggers out haven't really affected the deck that much because you stride and you gained your +1 card for striding anyway, so you get your triple drives, so your hand stays fairly the same size. It's just the draw triggers helped you maintain it before stride. But yeah, for grade 1s, I'm running 2 Steam Fighter Meshi. What he does is once per turn, at Generation Break 1, you can Soul Blast 1 when your opponent's rearguard is put to the bottom of his deck through the effect of one of your cards. You may pay the cost, and if you do, choose one of your face down damage in your damage zone and turn it face up. So he's a non-flipper just whenever you bottom deck something, but only once per turn. I only play 2 instead of 3 now because I don't have the draw trigger, so I can't maintain the soul as much. So I cut it down to 2, and you can just search out through Fate Rider. Next, I'm playing 4 Stride Enablers, Steam Breath Dragons. When you discard it for Stride, it gets +2 grades, and when it's called to Rearguard, you can reveal a grade 3 in your hand, search your deck for a Chrono Jet Dragon, and then discard 1 card. Next, I'm playing 4 Summit Crest Gearwolf. He's a 7k booster, but whenever you, at Generation Break 1, whenever you bottom deck something, he gets 3k. So obviously, considering what Gears is meant to do at late game, well, in general, is to bottom deck, he tends to really be a 10k booster and every time it's my turn. So it's a 10k booster really, because he can give 3, but sometimes he can gain a lot more. But yeah, he's a pretty good card, and I think 4 is a nice number in this deck. I mean, instead of 3, I cut a Meshi and put this guy up to 4. Kind of wish I did that for Team League ready, because there was times where Meshi was just clogging, and then he did this, whereas I didn't. So but that's one of the changes I've made. I swapped the Meshy out for a Wolf. Next for my grade 3s, grade 1s even, I play 4 of the Perfect Guard. That's if you've got a copy, you can only guard your Vanguard, and if you've got a copy of her in the in the drop zone, you can unflip a damage when you play her. So essentially she unflips damage, and Counterblast is pretty important in this deck because you do end up running out of Counterblast at some point. Next for grade 2s, I'm playing 4 Steam Fighter Ambers because in my opinion this is one of the best grade 2s Gear Chronicle has. At Generation Break 1, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, if he's boosted, you can counterblast one, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less and put it to the bottom of the deck. You put a Wolf behind him, and then when he attacks, with boosted with Wolf, you counterblast one, bottom deck sunk. It's a 19k column. It's not much, but then you've got triggers and stuff that you can add to it, and it's handy. Next is a card that I was running 3 of, but I've put it up to 4. That is Steam Maiden Ishane, or whatever her name is. What she does is, at Generation Break 1, when you can counterblast one when your opponent's rear guard is put to the bottom of his deck due to the effect of one of your cards. If you do, until the end of the turn, she gets a following effect. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, until the end of that battle, your opponent can't call grade 0s from your hand. This is one of the reasons why I put this up to 4 in this build, because with the 12 criticals, if they guard your Ragnar Clock with a perfect guard, you stick all crits that you get onto this. Because again, they can't use their grade 0, so then it's harder to guard this. So she basically becomes Tom. It's another finisher if your Ragnar Clock doesn't get, if they can guard your Ragnar Clock, this makes them have to try and guard it with all their rear guards. Or all their grade 1s and 2s that they would usually call on their next turn from their hand. So it's a pretty good card. And then I'm still playing 3 Grimmer Breath Dragons instead of 4. Because I played 4 at regional teams, and it was too much. It clogged. And what he does at Generation Break 1, you can counterblast 1, soul blast 1 when he's placed on the rear guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Chrono Jet in its name, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less rear guards, put it to the bottom of the deck. And then this card gets 2,000 power till the end of that turn. So he's an 11k attacker on the turn you play him, but there's also some nice combos that you can do with him, like with your Puck Maker, you can bind him and then he comes back at the end of the turn because he hits the field. His effect will trigger again. I'll go over the combo a bit later on. Now then, for my level 3s, I'm still playing my 4 Chrono Jet, because Chrono Jet is, a nice card, and it's probably the staple grade 3 for gears in my opinion. If you're not playing this, then you're probably playing the Legion build, which I have got a build off. I have built the Legion build, but I'm not going to do a video of that because I haven't tested it because I couldn't be bothered. I'd rather play this one. It's more fun, more consistent, and it wins more. But yeah, so if you don't know what Chrono Jet Dragon does, it's at Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks the Vanguard until the end of the turn, he gets 5,000 power and your opponent can't call grade 1s or greater to rear guard circle. His other ability is Counterblast 1. During the turn your G unit strided on, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, put it to the bottom of the deck. So when you stride on top of him, you can Counterblast 1 and bottom deck side, which is what this deck's designed to do. Next, I'm playing 4-dimensional expansion Colossus, whatever his name is. He has 2 effects, again. He has a once per turn effect at GB1. Choose one of your grade 0s and put it on the bottom of your deck. Search deck for up to a grade 3 and call it to rear guard. Shuffle your deck and that unit gets 5,000 power till the end of the turn. His other effect is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less and put it on the bottom of his or her deck. So you can get rid of a grade 1 or less rear guard, so you can get rid of a booster. So that's my Gear Chronicle main deck. Now then onto the Stride deck. So I have Usually my first stride is Interdimensional Dragon Epoch Maker Dragon. Then what he does is when this unit attacks the Vanguard, you may choose one of your rear guards. No, wait, when this attack hits the Vanguard, I should say. You may choose one of your rear guards and bind it face up. If you do, search deck for one grade 3 card, call it to rear guard circle. Shuffle your deck afterwards. At the end of the turn, put the card that was called with this effect to the bottom of your deck. If you put a card to the bottom of your deck this way, choose a card that was bound with this effect and call it to rear guard. So, you can call this. You call your Grimmer Breath, you counter blast 1, you soul blast 1, you bottom deck side. You attack with your Grimmer Breath column. You attack with this guy. If it hits, you bind Grimmer Breath. Let's just say you call a Chrono Jet out. End of the turn, Chrono Jet goes to the bottom of the deck. Grimmer Breath comes back. Because it's come back to the field, its effect happens again. So if you've got the counter blast and the soul blast, and they've got the rear guards, you can bottom deck side Gauss. I'm only playing this as a 1 because it's just a tech. It's an ideal first stride. My next one off is Interdimensional Beast on Heaven, well, on whatever it's called, basically the Pegasus. When this guy's effect is, when it's placed on the Vanguard circle, if you have a heart with Chrono Jet in its name, your opponent puts all his rear guards on the bottom of his deck in any order. For each card put to the bottom of the deck with this guy's effect, you can, well, your opponent calls that many cards from the top of the deck, one at a time obviously, into the field. So essentially this can mess up your opponent's formation against decks like Tsukiyomi. It messes up their stack a bit because if they've got a full field of 5, you just instantly added 5 onto their stack and taken 5 off their stack. So it can mess up some Tsukiyomi players. Next is a one-off at the minute, but I need to get another one. Well, I have another one somewhere, but I have to find it. And that is Interdimensional Dragon, Fate Rider Dragon. This card is pretty good. I mean, he is a very good utility card. And he's helped me win games multiple times because he's helped me set up things and it's just nice. His effect is, once per turn, you can choose one of your rear guards, put it onto the bottom of your deck, search deck for one card that is 1 grade greater than the unit called, they can call it to rear guard. Then, obviously you shuffle your deck and then choose one of your units for each face up card in your G zone and they get 3000 power until the end of the turn. So if I don't need to search, basically what I tend to do with this is I tend to bottom deck my starter and call out a grade 1 booster behind my Vanguard, usually Meshi, because if you don't need to search for a grade 3, the starter is just going to be stuck there on the board being a 5k boost, whereas this guy can put it back to the deck, get you something like Meshi, which will start helping you set up plays and keeping your counter blasts and so on. So, and it will also put another 10k shield in the deck. But I will be playing 2 of this, but until I get my second one, well, until I find my second one, I am playing 1 Interdimensional Dragon, Chronos Command Dragon. His effect is Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 1, and choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent puts all his rear guards to the bottom of his deck. So basically, it can wipe out their board, but they're usually perfect guard that. Then for the last stride, I play 4 Interdimensional Dragon, Ragnarok Drag. I love this card. Its art is nice, the card's effect is nice, it's pretty damn good. I mean, for 1 counter blast and flipping up a copy of itself, he gets, your opponent can't call grade 0s to the Guardian Circle and he goes critical if you have 2 face up in your G zone. So, in the 12 crit variant, this card is very fucking threatening because the simple fact is there is a high chance of you getting 3 more criticals on it. I have done this. I played against a very good player as well. He was at 2 damage and he went no guard, I'm at 2 damage and I got a triple crit on him and killed him. So this card is nice. He's your finisher off the deck and I've seen people play only 2 of him now because of the amount of strides that are out for like that are good strides that can be played in gears, but you need to play 4 just for the simple fact is if the first one doesn't finish them, the second one will. So that is my Gear Chronicle deck, the 12 crit variant. If you would like to see my Legion variant, leave a comment below and I will do a Legion variant. If you'd like to see a fun stride build, like as in with the deck, like really fun, as in without Ragnar clocks basically, let me know because I can do that as well. Because I pretty much have nearly 4 of every card for Gear Chronicles and like at least 1 of every stride somewhere. Because I am pretty committed to this clan because it's really fun. Whether I'll be taking this to nationals or not, I don't know. I mean, a couple of people, I was joking around and saying I was going to make a Master Morikawa deck with like 27 grade 3s, then I might take that nationals just for giggles. And people were thinking I should do it just for giggles, so I might just do that. But yeah, this is my Gear Chronicle deck, 12 crit variant, and if you'd like to see Legion, anything else to do with Gear Chronicles, another build, just leave a comment below. If I've got time, I'll build it and record it for you. Hopefully I'll be recording every Wednesday. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe. I do giveaways. Everyone is eligible for these giveaways, whether you've won in the past or not. But that's not going to be until I hit 100 subscribers because I've just recently done one. And so on and so on. And so thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for the next video. It should be a wise one.